Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Creamy Code. I'm Palvinder Kaur here again to explain Node more in detail, and I aim here to make you fall in love with coding. So let's get started. So yesterday we discussed like inbuilt modules and user-defined modules in Node. So we will discuss inbuilt module further in bit more detail, and we would discuss some callback method also today. So this HTTP module, which is inbuilt module of Node, there are few methods which are provided by this module. That is create client. It is used for creating HTTP client, but this is deprecated now. Then for creating server, like we have already used this method in previous sessions, and also get method that it sets the request object to get and returns the user request object. And this is global agent, it returns the HTTP agent details, and this is request method which returns the user request object. And this is HTTPS inbuilt module. It is very similar to this HTTP, but it is actually not similar. HTTPS is a secured way of calling a local host or any website. So we need to provide a certificate and key for this. But here we are using HTTPS library, and methods those are provided by HTTPS are create server. It is used for creating HTTP server, and get method, global agent request, all are similar to HTTP, just create client is not there. But for making use of this library, we need to create SSL certificates and key value pair and import that, and then we can make use of this. Okay, so today's agenda is we will discuss FS inbuilt module in Node.js, and also callback, how callback works. So what is callback? It is an asynchronous equivalent of for a function. Like we have already discussed that Node supports asynchronous way of programming, and that make it highly scalable, means it can take multiple requests at a time because it is asynchronous. It does not wait for one request to complete to process another. It can start one request and then move to other request and then come back to first request and then come back to second request, so on. It can take multiple requests and process them. How it happens we will see. So callback, when we use callback, like both are supported. We can skip callback way and we can make use of it. If we are using it, it is called at the end of the task. All APIs of Node support callback. Okay, so we will just see the demo, and I will be using this FS inbuilt module for showing this demo, like how callback function works. And actually what happens is callback and non-callback also represent blocking code and non-blocking code. If you are not using asynchronous way of coding, you are using blocking code, means first request which is received by node has to be completed and then it moves to the other code or other request. So in this way, this is blocking. And if you are using callback, it is a non-blocking way, means it will take this request, then move to other request, and then starts processing when this request is completed. How it happens, we will see in VS Code today. So let's move to VS Code. I hope it is properly visible. Okay. So I'll just create one file that will show how blocking code works, which we have been executing till now. A normal code means I'll use this library which is inbuilt, provided by Node and used for dealing with files. This is FS. And file I'm going to use is this input.txt, in which I have given some this demo is for callback function used in non-blocking mode, and how not using callback is a blocking mode. So I'm using this input file which I will import, like first I have started making use of this fs inbuilt module, and now I will start reading this file using this library. So I am using this function. I am giving the path of input text where it can pick from this. Since it is inside it, so I have given this path like dot out, go to outside folder demo, and in that it will search for this file. So it will be able to read it. So since I have read this file using input.text, so all the content of input.text I have stored in variable data, and I will convert this into a string and print it. We are just trying to see in which fashion this code will work. So here is my code completed, and I will just clear my screen and we will run this. So this is blocking.js, so I will run this file and we will see how it runs. So we can see that first this data from input.text is printed on this one, and after this end of code is printed. Means first the request is taken by node and it has executed the request properly and it has moved to the end of the task and it is out of it now. So what happens if I use callback function, and how actually callback function is written? So I will retry this in .js. Similarly, I will use this library again. I can use a different function this time. The file, but it hardly matters. We can use this sync also. It won't matter. It is just for synchronizing the content. Just to maintain the similarity, I am choosing sync again. So there is no doubt in mind that why it behaves like this and in this function. So I am using this function. This is a callback function. We are talking how it works. This ends our callback function and we are marking the end of this code. So this callback function, what it is doing is it is acting as a return for this file read file sync. Means this function fs inbuilt library I have imported, and I am using this function of it to read this file input text, and as a return type I am using this function. If I am not able to read this file due to some reason, it will return error, else it will fetch the data from this file which will be stored in this variable. So accordingly I have mentioned further steps, like if we receive error, it will return us error, and if it is file is read properly, this data we are trying to print in the console. So after this whole functionality is over, we will see the message end of the code. We have already seen that in blocking mode, first this is executed and this end of code is done. Let's see how in non-blocking code it runs. Okay, I will execute this method. Okay. There is one confusion, like it has not read this input.txt file due to some reason. I need to see why. Okay, I think we cannot use this sync. Sorry, I gave a long lecture on this. So, okay, yeah, I was right. So actually, we cannot use that synchronous file sync method here. I am also enlightened. So we cannot use this method here, and we are using read file method. And this is like we can see that this end of code is printed first, means it just took this request, started this functionality to happen, and move to the end of the code and move to take second request, whichever we can provide. So after this is ended, this functionality is done, this will come back and execute this, and we will get this output. So this is the difference between blocking and non-blocking, and how callback function is used. And also we cannot use synchronous with callback function because this is asynchronous way of programming. Thank you so much for being with me today, and it is great to share this knowledge and learning as well along with you. Please like, share and subscribe if you're interested. Thank you. See you again. Bye bye. Have a lovely day.